Hello students, welcome to this online course of Strength of Materials. So in the previous lecture we have started studying about the bending moment and shear force, and we have seen the definition of axial force. So we have discussed about the sign convention and all the basic fundamental details. Now today we are going to solve some problems to get the more clear picture about the bending moment and shear force diagram. So let us start with this very simple example. So this is a simple beam. So in this course only determinate structure we will be discussing, like the number of unknown reaction will be equal to the number of static equilibrium equations. So generally we are having three equation of equilibrium, that is summation fx is equal to 0, summation fy is equal to 0, and summation m about zx is equal to 0. So there are basically three fundamental static equation. So maximum number of unknowns in any given problem will be 3, because in your course only determinate structure is mentioned. So here you can see A is hinge support. So here two reactions are there and here one. So maximum any structure you will be having only 3, maximum 3. It can be 2, it can be 1, but they are of no use. So 3 unknowns will be there. So we have to find the shear force and bending moment. First we will be seeing the shear force and bending moment. So what is the section given? A small distance to the left of the midpoint of the beam and a small distance to the right of the midpoint of the beam. So very interesting problem. We have to be near center only, but in first case we have to find the shear force or end bending moment at the just left, and one will be at the just right. Okay, so what is going to change when we are traveling from A to B, and the moment we will cross A, the moment m0 will be coming into picture. Okay, so this is the difference. If load is also acting at this point, then load will also contribute. Okay, so let us say some P1 is there, then it will also contribute. But right now there is only load which is at L by 4 from left hand support, that is L, A point, and m0 is a couple which is acting at the center of the beam. So before, for shear force and bending moment diagram, what we have to do, we have to take the section and we have to check either from the left of that section or from the right of that section. So first step is to calculate the reactions. So we will determine RA and RB. So this is very easy. We just first you have to take a moment about any point A or B. You will be getting directly RA and RB. Okay, so first step is to calculate the reactions RA and RB. So we are taking moment. So this equation is coming, first equation is coming by taking moment about B is equal to 0. So moment about B, so this is our point of concern. So RA is having, so RA will give RA into L. So we are taking clockwise as positive. Okay, so P is having distance of 3L by 4. So this is in anti-clockwise direction, so this is minus, and m0 is in clockwise direction, so it will be positive. So RA is coming out to be 3P by 4 minus m0 by L. Okay, so RA plus RB is how much? P only. Moment is not going to contribute in force equations, so either you can use this equation or you can take the moment about A point. Both you will be getting same reaction, same RB. Okay, so RB is coming out to be P by 4 plus m0 by L. So if you are adding here, so 3P by 4 plus P by 4 will be P, and minus m0 by L plus m0 by L will get cancelled out. So RA plus RB is coming out to be P only. So we are having a correct reactions we have calculated correctly. Now we have to draw the free body diagram. So this beam will be what is acted upon. This is RA, this is RB, here it is given as P, and here somewhere it is m0. So at A, horizontal reaction will be there, and it will be 0 only because no horizontal force is there. So summation Fx is equal to 0 will give you HA is equal to 0. So these are the forces acting on the beam. Okay, so we have to calculate the shear force just left of this midpoint. So we are if you will take just left of this midpoint, so you will be getting the same result from left. Either you are calculating it from left or you will calculate it from right, you will be getting the same shear force and bending moment, because the beam everywhere it will be in equilibrium. So whether you are taking the point at from left or right, it will be in equilibrium, so it will give you the same result. Okay, so check this reaction. So we are taking this left hand portion. Okay, so let us see. So this left hand portion is shown here. So this force is P, and at this section we are taking bending moment N, shear force at bending moment is M, and shear force is V. Always try to draw the direction in positive, whatever the fundamental the convention is, like whatever convention is giving you positive shear force and bending moment, if unknown we are calculating, we will be assuming in the positive direction. So this is sagging bending moment, that is why it will be positive, and right hand side downward is always positive shear force. So we will be taking positive. If it is correct, then it will be, the value will come as positive, and if it will be wrong, then it will come as negative. So accordingly we will change the direction. So first we are going to calculate the shear force to the left, shear force and bending moment to the left hand side of the midpoint. So we have cut the section and we are taking the left hand portion. So you can see RA is there and P is there. So equilibrium equation, every point is in equilibrium, so summation vertical forces will be equal to 0. So RA in positive upward direction, P and V are both are in downward direction, so both will be negative. So V is coming out to be RA minus P, that is 3P by 4. RA is 3P by 4 minus M naught by L minus P, and V finally we are getting minus P by 4 minus M naught by L. So this is a negative quantity, because P, this is what, P is also positive, M naught is also positive, it will have some positive value, so it will be a negative value. That means the assumed direction is wrong. So shear force is acting in upward direction. If you are writing, if you are changing the direction, then you will be writing as P by 4 plus M naught by L. So either you have to write the same direction with the opposite sign, or you can change the direction and you have to change the sign also. Okay, now we will be checking the bending moment. So taking the bending moment, we are going to calculate the moment. So we are taking the moment equal to 0. So what we are going to take, we will be taking the moment about midpoint. Midpoint is the point of concern here. Okay, so about midpoint we are taking the bending moment. So RA into L by 2, RA into L by 2, so counterclockwise is positive, so it is RA into L by 2 is clockwise, so it will be negative here. Okay, so always try to write the direction whatever you are assuming. So likewise we have written counterclockwise moment are taken as positive, so all the anti-clockwise moment or counterclockwise moment we will be writing as with minus sign. So RA will produce a counterclockwise moment, so it is coming out to be minus RA into L by 2, plus P is giving counterclockwise, so it is positive PL by 4. M is in counterclockwise direction, so it will be plus. So we have to calculate M. So M is coming out to be RA into L by 2 minus PL by 4. So after putting the value of RA, it is coming out to be PL by 8 minus M naught by 2. So here we cannot commit directly that whatever, like it will be positive or negative, because it is depending upon two quantities. So such as if like P and L, PL and M naught are such that M naught by 2 is greater than PL by 8, so it will be negative. If it is like M naught by 2 is less than PL by 8, so it will be positive. If PL by 8 is equal to M naught by 2, then it will be 0. So it can have any value. So we are leaving it right now. Just now we are focusing on the basic concept, how we are going to calculate the bending moment and shear force. So this was for the point which was left of the midpoint. Now we are moving ahead and we are taking a point which will be at the right of the midpoint. Okay, so reaction will be same, only difference will come, m naught will also come into picture now. Okay, so when force, like shear force will be same, because in when shear force is there, there is no need to calculate for where there is no need to concern about the moments, so it will be same. F summation F vertical will be 0, so it is coming out to be minus p by 4 minus m naught by l, same it is coming, there is no difference, and sign is also same, so it will be upward direction. Now moment will also come into picture, so we have to take the moment about same midpoint we are taking, this midpoint we are taking, and we are taking counterclockwise as positive, so all the values we have to put. So here you are getting PL by 8 plus M naught by 2. So what is the difference from previous one? So previous one was PL by 8 minus M naught by 2. Okay, so if you check the difference, it is coming out to be exactly equal to the external applied moment. So it is the point of observation here is, if you are checking the bending moment and if some external couple is applied like this, so the left hand side and right hand side there will be jump of that applied moment, that is m naught. Okay, so just at the left hand side it was PL by 8 minus m naught by 2, and just at the right hand side it is PL by 8 plus m naught by 2. So from here if you will add m naught, you will get this result. So in the bending moment diagram, if you will plot it, you will get a jump of the external applied moment. And for the shear force, if the some load is given, like let us say Q load is there, so if you will cross that section, so there will be a jump of Q. Okay, so this you have to keep in mind when you are plotting the bending moment diagram or shear force diagram. Now let us try to solve this problem. A cantilever beam that is free at end A and at end B it is subjected to, so again you can check the number of unknowns are how much. Here it is 0, here it is 3. Moment will be there, horizontal force will be there, and vertical force will be there. Free end there is no, so maximum unknowns for the given structure will be 3, because in your syllabus only determinate structures are there. Okay, so the intensity, so it is a uniformly varied load, UVL. So we used to have UDL, uniformly distributed load. It is UVL, uniformly varying load. It is varying, but the variation is uniform, linear variation is there. Okay, so what is being asked in the question? Find the shear force and bending moment at a distance A from free end. So we have to take any random section which is at a distance x from free end. So this is quite easy. Let us see what we have to do. We have to take any section, distance is x, we have to determine this Q in terms of the known quantities, and we will be checking the equilibrium of this section. So like this we will be applying the shear force and bending moment, and we will try to calculate the values of these B and M. Okay, as we have done in the previous question. So we cut the beam through the distance x, so like this you can check here. So this is the, we have cut from at a distance x from left hand side. So Q will be, it is linear variation, so Q is Q naught into x by L. If you will put x is equal to 0, you will get Q as 0. If you will put x is equal to L, you will get Q naught. So we have calculated, this equation is correct. Now total downward load is how much? This much is total downward load. So area of this section, so half into Q naught by x, Q, this is Q naught into x by L, and this is x, so Q naught x square by 2L. So this load will be balanced by force, that is shear force. Shear force, so we will write both are in downward direction, as we have assumed V to be downward. So V is coming out to be minus Q naught x square by 2L. That means the assumed direction is wrong. So the shear force will be acting upward. Again we have to calculate the bending moment. So how this shear force is going to vary. So this was Q naught x square by 2L. So at free end x is equal to 0, so V will be 0, and at fixed end it will be L. So if we'll put the value of x is equal to L, you will get minus Q naught L by 2, and it is equal to the downward force. Total downward force is Q naught L by 2. So minus force is suggesting the direction assumed by S is opposite to the actual direction. Now for bending moment, take the moment about this point only. Okay. So what is the benefit of taking the moment about this point? So this V will be vanishing, V into 0, V will not come into picture. So M is the bending moment plus the bending moment due to this loading. So the area of this total load into, we have to take the lever arm. So total load is half into Q naught x by L into x. So this is the load, and the lever arm is x by 3. So from this point, centroid of the triangle is x by 3, whatever is this dimension. So if it is L, then it will be L by 3. If it is x, it will be x by 3. So we have checked the variation of bending moment. So that is M is equal to minus Q naught x cube by 6L. That means M is also opposite to whatever we have assumed. Okay, so the bending moment will be hogging. We have assumed sagging, but actually it is hogging. So variation will be at free end, it will be 0 because x is equal to 0. At fixed end, it will be Q naught L square by 6. So you can check here. So in this way you can calculate the bending moment and shear force. So if you want to plot for like this section, this we will be doing in the next lecture. Still I am just telling you. So shear force bending moment diagram will be along the beam only. So here it was 0 and the variation was what? It was negative. So it is cubic, and for bending moment also it will be cubic. It is 2 degree, it is 3 degree. Okay, so just like this we will be showing the variation of bending moment and shear force. In the next question we will be seeing how we are going to plot these variations, and these variations, if we are plotting along the beam, that is if it is the variation of shear force, it is shear force diagram. If it is variation of bending moment, then it is called as bending moment diagram. If it is the variation of axial force, then it will be termed as axial force diagram. So this we are going to see in the next lecture. This is all for today. Thank you.